Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. I truly appreciate it. After 3 days of intense learning, sharing ideas, gaining motivation and inspiration, I'm sure for some of you, a bit or a lot of partying too. It's a real pleasure to be here sharing this moment with you, to talk about education, to talk about society, reality, students, and about the future of our students. So my name is Marcos Garcia. I am an education officer from Spain, but I am also a teacher. I worked as a teacher for many years in primary, in secondary, and for the next 10 or 12 minutes, I'm going to talk from a teacher's perspective. Yeah, I work for Odoo, but I would like to feel like you are talking to, or you're listening to, a teacher. So we have seen many presentations in previous talk about how Odoo can be used in the classroom. You've seen examples, real cases from schools, universities, and how Odoo can become a teaching tool. But now I don't want you to focus on how. I would like you to think about why. If you're not a teacher, you can think about the teachers you had in the past as well. And I would like you to, I would like to invite you to take a step back and think on why we should do this in education. And let me make something clear from the beginning. Education is not about copying what companies want. And again, I do work for a company, but I have reasons for saying this and trying to make you teach using an ERP in class. Our mission is way bigger. It's about preparing students to live in society, to think critically, and to become active citizens. So because of those reasons, that's the reason, or those are the reasons why we bring ERPs into education. It's because it helps us connect education with reality, and because reality is not divided into isolated subjects like we do in schools, like we do in universities. Reality is connected, and it's integrated, and it's constantly changing. So our responsibility is to prepare students to be part of the society they are working into. That's why teachers are curious, and we try to find different ways of teaching and becoming better teachers. But what is an ERP? I'm sure after 3 days being here, we all know what an ERP is, and I'm sure if I ask you, some of you may say, well, it's technology, it's a software, it's a tool, and yes, it's all of that, but it's way more than that. An ERP is a way of working rather than just a software. It's integration, it's transparency, and of course it's connection. I'm sure you've heard these 3 words, the ones you can see here: integration, transparency, and connection during these days here at the OXP 25. Think about how some of us as teachers, or think about your teachers and how they normally teach in their classes. In accounting, students create invoices. In logistic degrees or subjects, they track stock movements. And in management or business degrees, probably they simulate sales, which all of those activities and exercises are amazing, are great, but they are disconnected. So it's not enough. It's not real. It's not how real life works. In real life, it doesn't work that way. A single sale is not just a sale, it's way more than that. It reduces stock, it creates an invoice, it impacts on cash flow, and many more things. That's why we are here trying to convince teachers, to convince educators to start using ERPs like Odoo in their classes. Do you think, I will ask you if you were teachers, if you think your students understand this level of connection, or even if they practice this in class? The next thing I would like to say is that it's very important to think and reflect about this, because when we use an ERP in class, we are not just teaching students to click here and there. We are teaching system thinking, which is the ability to understand how one action affects another action or the whole. Apply learning, seeing theory becoming real, alive, and of course digital competence, being comfortable with tools like Odoo that are standard or even mandatory in our society. So now, knowing this, imagine you as a student or your teachers asking you to make a sales process in class. You will be able to see how inventory moves, how an invoice is generated, and suddenly the students realize that this is way more than just single activities, one after the other one, and it's one as a whole. And of course, we also need to think about where our students go after leaving our schools. They go to a world of isolation or integration. Well, we all know the answer. It's integration, and again, that's why we should start teaching in different ways, not isolated subjects, not isolated activities, and so on. So basically, what I'm saying is that what we call the future in education is already happening. As a teacher, I used to think, well, what do I need to teach my students for their future? First, maybe I need to think about the present. When I cover those aspects, maybe I can start thinking about the future. Sometimes we make it too difficult for us, and thinking about the future is something that we don't really know, and we have enough work to do now in the present. And here's when it comes the connection to the outer world with our responsibility. Reports from LinkedIn, reports from the World Economic Forum, and many other studies show that ERP knowledge is digital skills as well, and adaptability are one of the most demanded skills today. So again, this is not about the future. This is what society needs. And yeah. Years from now, our students may forget some formulas, may forget some theories, but they will remember, they will still keep using those skills they built during their education. Don't get me wrong, formulas, dates, theories are necessary, but not to memorize them, just as a way of developing more skills. And let me close with this thought: education must reflect reality. If companies, government, society, even groups of friends are interconnected, then our classes should not remain fragmented. An ERP, the second thought will be, an ERP is not the goal, it's just a bridge. We use the tool not because we need to learn that tool, but because that tool is going to help us building skills that are required for our future or for the futures of our students. And what do we get as teachers? Because this is not easy. We need to continue learning. We need to start using different tools. I know that it's not easy, but you know, when you're a teacher, you know that it's a very rewarding job, and we gain the satisfaction of doing our job with integrity, the joy of seeing students smiling because they know that what they are learning is going to be useful and relevant for their future. And last but not least, because this is difficult, we have an education program that can help you becoming, I wouldn't say a better teacher, but to improving your lessons. There's a huge team of education officers willing to help, eager to help, all over the world. And as I said at the beginning, we have seen examples of what we can do or how we can do things in class. But again, please contact us if you need help. For instance, in Spain, our team has worked closely with universities, with educators, to help students connect with industries and even getting better jobs. So yeah, we can say that this is becoming alive, and what we are doing is improving or helping teachers and improving education. So that's all from my side. If there are any questions, I would love to listen to your questions. Again, thank you very much for your time, your energy, your commitment, and I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you. Gracias.